Good morning, everybody. We are in Dana Point at the Hyde Drogher statue, and today, we're going to show you some sights. We're going to teach you a little bit of history about Dana Point and show you the loveliness that is Orange County. Just look at what we've got ahead of us. This cliff right here, this little bluff, is blowing my mind right now. That's our journey, is these steps, this trail here. It's not really I guess it's a trail, but it's a walking path. And we're gonna be going through that thing down there and up the steps, and then you can see off in the distance there a statue which will be part of our journey. But I think we're gonna be seeing quite a bit of this here in a minute. And then you've got we're in Dana Point. This is the Dana Point Marina. Amazing. I had no idea. Like, when we were walking around Laguna last week, and I was saying, I want to go up into those hills and see what the view looks like from down there. Mm-hmm. This is exactly like, yeah. It's not the same place. It's like, that was Laguna, and this is Dana, but this is the view that I would have wanted to see if I were down there. If I were down there doing some yoga with those folks on the grass down there, which they are presently doing yoga.
I really do love marinas, because I love seeing all these boats. It's like, what a lifestyle.
Yeah.
The boat life.
Right? Imagine. Wow. This is a real place. I actually don't, right now I'm feeling like I don't want to even leave right now. I just want to look at more of this. What is that down there? What's that?
It looks like a school or something like in that range. There's a pirate ship down there, though.
That is a pirate ship of some kind.
Are we going on a pirate ship?
I don't know.
It, maybe.
We're going to be staying on this side of the cliff, I think. So, and I wonder if that's a restaurant right there.
I know. I was just thinking, how great would it have like some fish tacos right on the marina?
We did want to try a taco in every city, right?
Yeah, we did. We will find some.
Of course, I wanted street tacos, but all right, let's take this journey.
Fish tacos are things to do in the summertime.
There's that yoga class I was talking about. I can't stop. It's just like last week at Victoria Beach. I couldn't keep going because I just wanted to record everything. These are houses that we're looking at, by the way. Or maybe apartments or condos? I'm not sure. They're clapping. Excellent yogiing. You were the best yoga-er. You did it. Liz is making her way down to that, I guess, bridge? Trellis? I don't know what to call that. Bridge sounds right. You keep going, baby. I'll catch you. With Sophia in tow, who once again is going to have the time of her life today, I'm sure. She had a great time at Victoria Beach. This trail that we're on right now is called Hyde Trail, which relates to the story that we're going to get to when we arrive at that statue at the top of those steps. This bridge covers part of this bluff here. And where we're at, actually, I think I mentioned earlier, is Dana Point, which is, it's right actually just south of Laguna, down PCH. It's in basically the same area. Dana Point got its name. We're gonna do a little history. We're gonna learn a little something today, you guys. Dana Point got its name from Richard Henry Dana, who wrote a novel. Well, not so much a novel, more of a story, 2 years before the mast. And that story chronicled his time spent as a drogher. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right because I've never heard that word before. D-R-O-G-H-E-R. And it's basically how the early history of Dana Point and what they did here as a trade. Dana Point was not always the affluent town it is today. It's a very rich neighborhood today. But back in his day, when he was a drogher, it was very poor. I'm sorry, what was that, honey?
She's enjoying it now.
Are you having fun?
Oh, checking your own spit.
Are you okay? they've actually helped us out here with a little plaque. Dana Point Inn, which is probably this. So it's not, those aren't condos? Is that, I feel like that's what that is, maybe?
It has to be.
These arches that we're under an arch right now, were part of S.H. Woodruff's resort hotel, the Dana Point Inn. The stock market crash and the Great Depression halted construction, ending his dream. And then part of the foundation, the hand-poured concrete arches, remain as a local landmark. Remnants of the 1920s rock path are visible from the bridge crossing the canyon. Remnants? I want to see remnants.
Okay, so these were, so was this whole thing, are we technically in the inn right now?
The inn never got built, it looks like. It said the stock market crash halted construction. So that's not, this isn't the inn. Those are probably condos.
Okay.
But I want to see the.
This was like the main entrance.
This was part of the original construction. Yeah, these were the foundations and the arches. I don't really see any concrete remnants. Do you? No, I mean the path. There was a concrete path. There is.
Well, this concrete right here.
No, not that. They're talking. What we'd be seeing is probably. I'm seeing some concrete down there. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But those are the arches that we were just talking about. This was going to be the Dana Point Inn. We've almost reached the halfway point of our trail, according to the guide. And there you can see the early look at the statue that is our destination.
Wow.
And there it is.
Not what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. Benedict Coleman, 1990.
That is the Hyde Drogher. And this statue relates again to our story of Richard Henry Dana and Dana Point. So what do you suppose this is a statue of?
Well, it looks like he's tugging on something.
What do you think? Yeah, what's because when I first saw this, I'm like, what in the world am I looking at?
He's obviously fighting for something.
You think he's fighting? Yeah.
Or he's holding on.
It does look like he's holding on.
Yeah, it looks like a flag to me.
Well, what?
Or it's part of a shipwreck, I don't know.
The actual story is quite interesting. It's a little less fantastic, but fantastic for a different reason. He's not fighting, he's not holding on, he's actually throwing.
What is he throwing?
This is a cowhide. Now, the term Hyde Drogher, right?
Oh, okay.
I think the word Drogher, I believe, is another language or another, what do you call it? It means, I think it means to throw.
Oh.
Thrower.
Okay.
He's throwing this cowhide over the cliff, right? I actually may not be able to say it better than what the plaque actually says right here. The Hyde Drogher is a New England sailor of the 1800s. 1800s. They tossed locally raised cowhides from these cliffs to be traded for finished goods carried by their ships. And this was sculpted in 1990. So what they would do is, because there was, you've heard the term, or the cities like Rancho Santa Margarita, Rancho Mission Viejo, those kind of things.
Uh-huh.
Well, the rancho is derivative of what this area used to be, was just a bunch of cattle ranches. So they were, and those were there was the Rancho Santa Margarita, the Rancho Mission Viejo, that kind of thing. Some of the cities have dropped the rancho over time, but some have not.
Interesting.
But they were cattle ranches. Yes,
happy?
Yes, baby.
Happy,
Indeed,
girly?
they were. Yeah. Part of their trade was skinning cowhides,
Okay.
and then they would ship them back east to New England. So in order, they couldn't just walk. It was very difficult to obviously take these cowhides apparently from up here all the way down here to the bay. So this guy, Droghers, would throw them over the cliff, and then they would receive them at the bottom. The guys in the ships would receive them at the bottom, and then I guess they would walk up their trade, whatever they traded for. And these ships would travel from the East Coast along you know, the bottom half of the United States, Louisiana, Texas, and then all up and down the California coast. It fascinates me, like, just to hear, because I had no idea that Dana Point had a history like that.
Me neither.
You know, I just assumed that it was always this affluent port, because ports in general tend to attract income.
Right.
You know, major like LA, New York, and then in Louisiana. If you're a port where you can do trade from, you know, international trade or anything like that, then you're gonna get wealthy soon. And I guess it did happen. Dana Point did become a wealthy city, but back then it was very, you know, in the 1800s it was very basic, very rustic. I mean, I guess they hadn't really settled out here yet. That's why a lot of names that we have out there are of Spanish origin and not, you know, American per se, because we hadn't settled the West Coast yet. Isn't it? And that the city gets its name from a guy who did this very thing. The city of Dana Point. I was telling that to the camera earlier. Dana Point, Dana is named after Richard Henry Dana.
I like the name Dana.
Yeah, and he worked one of these Drogher ships. Now that's not actually the end of the trail or the end of our adventure. We got more sights to see. So let's say goodbye to the Hyde Drogher for now.
So there's more?
Well, there's more trail.
Oh, okay.
There's more of this.
Oh, okay.
There's not another statue. There's not more stories to tell in that sense, you know, historically speaking. Now this is saying Bluff Top Trail. I saw a plaque earlier that said Hyde Trail. I thought there was more. This is it.
This is it.
Are they still yogiing?
Yes, they are.
We have discovered another plaque that gives us a little bit more insight into this little area, this harbor. It's a natural cove that became Dana Point Harbor, was an anchorage for trading ships in the 1800s, a recreation of the brig Pilgrim that brought the namesake Richard Henry Dana is moored in the West End. So this is that natural harbor that just eventually became, you know, for personal or private boats, used to be a harbor for trade. Now they said that there was a replica of the brig Pilgrim, the boat that Richard Henry Dana worked on. But I read somewhere else before this that boat it sank. It sank actually this year. Somewhere out there is some remnants of the replica brig, the Pilgrim. I'm not sure. They said the West End. I don't know my west from my north, so I'm not sure where that would be, West End, because that feels like the south end, and that feels like that would be the north end, so the West End would be right here, and maybe that's what I'm looking at. There's just so much life happening down there right now. Like there's guys down there on, what do they call those things where you stand up and paddle?
Oh shoot.
Like a paddle board?
No. There is a name for them. It might just be paddle surfing.
Yeah, maybe paddle surfing.
But they do have an actual name. I can't find.
It's like very Hawaiian. But I don't know, again, I can't zoom with this camera, but I can zoom in post. So hopefully I can show you those two guys down there paddle surfing their way. Oh, there's another guy on a yellow one coming right at them. I wonder if they're gonna say bread and butter as they pass. There's a lot of that. There's just boat traffic and people coming in and out. They're gonna take their boats out there and see the open sea. Maybe you'll do a little yoga. I'm just infatuated with the yoga right now. And then somewhere, there has to be somewhere in these buildings, fish tacos. There has to be, right?
I'm down for some fish tacos.
Well, it's too early. We just had breakfast.
Darn it.
What's happening? You need help? Well, what do you think, guys? Do you think we have time to take the car down to the bottom of this cliff and do a little more exploring at Dana Point Harbor. Liz, ever the internet sleuth, that yellow pirate ship down there. So the website, okay, that's the Pilgrim, or the replica of the Pilgrim that Richard Henry Dana, that's what they're saying on the internets. Now the internet's also told me that that thing sank, so maybe they built another one, but it was just 2020. I'm so confused. I want to go down there and see if we can't see the Pilgrim and confirm. Get him. So we're in the car, we've reached the bottom of the cliff. The cliff is behind us and above us. We're down near where we saw the yoga guys. And we're trying to find oh, there's Jimmy's Famous American Tavern. We're trying to find the Pilgrim.
Well, this says in 0.8 miles that parking lot is on the left, and we're here. So Dana Point Harbor. So it's like a little yacht club.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Wow. That building, I thought the building might be a yacht club.
Oh,
that brown building. Which may or may not be private, actually. But yeah, so right now we're at the bottom.
Of where we were just right up there.
There's the yogas, there's the yogas.
They opened at 10 a.m., so we'll be like one of the very first people.
Yay, I like people. Those are interesting rocks.
Is this only one lane or is that two-way?
No, it's two-way traffic, yeah. I may have to go offline here because it may be difficult. Well, somewhere up there on that cliff is our hide thrower. I think he's hiding behind some trees because he was a little low on the cliff. But we've come all the way down to Dana Point Harbor. Golly, look at that. And we've arrived at this area that I was trying to identify what this building was. When we were up there, I thought maybe a yacht club, but it's the Oceanic Institute, I believe. And that's what we were talking about. They said they had built a replica of the Pilgrim for the Oceanic Institute. And there it is. Well, there's a replica. I don't know if it's the replica, because again, there seems to be some confusion on my part as to whether or not this thing sank. So there's Ocean Science Landing, part of the Maddie James Learning Center. And I mean, I have to assume that's the Pilgrim, right? That's the ship we saw from up on the cliff. Mm-hmm. All signs seem to be pointing in that direction. We can't get any closer. None of this is open to the public. This is as close as we can get. But it is kind of neat to envision that that's, you know, what are we, year 2020? That's 220 years ago that somebody would have been on that ship carrying, you know, half load of trade or tradable goods for Dana Point, and then half of it is the cowhides that they traded for those goods. And a bunch of hide throwers. And that's a living. And that's a living. My job is to throw hides from the top of those cliffs. Up there on those cliffs. Just imagine a very rugged, well-built man chucking cowhides over the cliff, and then some guy down here in one of these boats fetching them. That's a thing that happened here. Today, people just get eaten by sharks. I mean, this is all lunch right here. All I'm seeing is shark lunch or schools of bluefish. What do you think? Is it schools of bluefish, or is it
bluefish?
You're gonna go with the bluefish?
Pranking other people.
Or a kid punking somebody with a shark fin? I don't know. I mean, it's not even the 4th of July. Wait, is that a tiger shark?
A what?
There we go. By the way, this place is popping.
Oh, Sophia, did you just play music for us?
It is very, very crowded here. There's this tiny little beach right here where people are gathering to do a lot of this, a lot of the, you know, the paddleboarding that we saw them doing from the top of the cliff. There's a lot of that. People don't, that's just all they do here, is just that.
She put on music.
And then get eaten by sharks. What colors do sharks like the best?
Red.
Okay, that guy's going down right there.
Bright colors.
Yeah, that guy's going down.
It attracts them.
And according to Deep Blue Sea, they also are attracted to wine. If you pour wine in the ocean, a shark is going to get you.
Ah, Deep Blue Sea. I love that movie.
And now for a moment of Sophia. Hi, honey. Did you turn on the radio?
She put on my Pandora and it's 3:11.
Oh, are you going to come original?
Clap, 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 clap. Oh, you have the hiccups.
Oh.
Are you enjoying your time? Yeah? You like the music?
I will say, and I would say the same thing last week, to all you folks up there living in those houses, congratulations, well done, you did it. Success has arrived in your life. Fantastic. Dana Point's beautiful. I think I rate this very close to Laguna. Still ahead of Newport.
Newport's like whatever.
Dana Point is lovely. It's not quite as old feeling, like vintagey, but it's lovely all the same. The only thing this place needs is fish tacos. There's no fish tacos anywhere in these buildings. I guess these are top men. What a job that is. Would you rather be the hide thrower or one of those guys?
Thrower.
I think I'd rather be the hide thrower. Yeah, that looks very perilous. And then we have one more plaque that also commemorates the 150th anniversary of the visit to the Anchoring Cove by author and city namesake Richard Henry Dana, who arrived in 1835 aboard the brig Pilgrim, which you saw. And again, he traded New England goods to the Mission San Juan Capistrano and area ranchos for cowhides tossed from these cliffs. Looks like we've got some salvaged scrap here. I wonder if this is from the reported sinking Pilgrim, or if this is just some other random scrap that maybe they took apart the vessel that was nearby. And then you've got these two things here, which are probably unrelated, probably for a different ship. You look at just the size and the scope of these things. Well, guys, that's our Dana Point adventure for our day. We got to see, we learned a little bit about the hide thrower, a little bit about the history of the name of Dana Point. I mean, I'm really digging this. I'm really digging these little adventures that we've had.
I never knew a lot of Dana Point except me going to my gym. And
I didn't know this place where we are standing right now even existed.
Yeah,
I lived in Dana Point for almost a year, and no idea. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any ideas, like some cool places that we should visit, go ahead and give us some comments below. They need to be interesting and not low-hanging fruit. I mean, something really curious.
Someone did send me something, I think it was like an art place. It has a lot of culture. I think it was in San Juan Capistrano. I'm not quite.
We're going to do San Juan at some point because there's the sparrows. Was it the sparrows? No, what was it?
Oh, the birds?
The birds, yeah.
I don't remember, but I know there's a really good donut place called Zombie Donuts, I think. I have to ask my trainer again.
Of course. She's worried about the donuts over here. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends. Tell everybody about Fresh Baked, and we'll see you next time. We love you guys. Fresh Baked.
Bye-bye.